is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I'm reading chapter 40 in Genesis. And it came to pass after a time these things, that the butler of the king of Egypt and the baker committed an offense against the Lord king of Egypt. The Pharaoh was wroth against his two officers, against the chief of the butlers, against the chief of the bakers, and he put them in ward in the house of the chief of the guards, into the prison, the place where Joseph was confined. And the chief of the guards charged Joseph with them and served them, and they continued a year in the ward. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each his dream in one night, each in accordance with the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were confined in prison. And Joseph came unto them in the morning, and looked at them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked the officers of Pharaoh that were with him in the ward in the Lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sad today? And they said unto him, We dreamed a dream, and there was none to interpret it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell it to me, I pray you. The chief of the butlers then told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me. In the vine were 3 branches, and it was as though it shot forth its blossoms, and upon the clusters the grapes became ripe. And the Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into the Pharaoh's cup, and I placed the cup into the Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said unto him, This is its interpretation. The 3 branches are 3 days. Within yet 3 days will Pharaoh lift up thy head, and restore thee unto thy office, and thou shalt place Pharaoh's cup into his hand in the former manner which thou wast his butler. Therefore, if thou thinkest on me when it shall be well with thee, then show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also I have not done this, lest ye have they put on me into the dungeon. And when the chief of bakers saw that he had well interpreted, he said unto Joseph, I also saw in my dreams, and behold, I had 3 baskets filled with bread on my head, and the uppermost basket there was all manner of baked food for Pharaoh, and the birds ate them out of the basket from my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation. The 3 baskets are 3 days. Within yet 3 days will Pharaoh lift up thy head from thee, and will hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat the flesh of thee. And it came to pass on the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all of his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief of butlers, and the head of the chief of bakers among his servants. He restored the chief of butlers unto his butlership, and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. But the chief of the bakers be hanged, so as Joseph had interpreted to them. Yet the chief of the butlers did not remember Joseph, and forgot him. So we'll continue to see what fortunes Joseph has in Egypt. Wherever he goes, he seems like he's put in charge and he helps people. So he, even though he's in prison, he's in charge of the prison. And even though he was a slave, he was in charge of the household. And so no matter where he's at, even if it's a lowly place, his integrity and his strength and his intelligence works for him, and he continues to help people wherever he's at. So we'll continue and see what all this brings into Joseph's life by following his God. Have a wonderful and blessed day.